Hi everyone, it's Sheree Lopez, and what I'm going to do with you today is walk you through how to access the system to go in and register. So this is a question I've been receiving in my class primarily. So when I am walking through this tutorial, I am keeping my current students that I have in my classroom in mind. Just know that the official tutorial videos, from my understanding, are being worked on at the district level. But given the current situation, I'm not exactly certain where they are in that process. But stay tuned. Keep an eye on our homepage for the college and the official tutorials that will show you how to navigate through our systems will be posted in the near future. So for right now, here's how we're going to go in and access self-service student planning. So let's check it out. Okay, so a couple of things. I'm going to be working from a traditional PC operating system. This is my personal laptop that I'm working on, and I will be using Google Chrome as my browser. So just keep in mind, if you are going to access the system, that it could look a little bit different if you are using the mobile site or if you're on a mobile device such as a tablet or a smartphone. Like, the app version does look a little bit different, but it will get you to the same location. It's just I'm taking I-20, you're taking I-30. We're both going to end up at the same destination together. All right? So let's see what we've got to do. So first of all, you're going to open up your internet browser, go to Google Chrome, and then from your end, you can access the information from your Web Advisor account. So with you guys being current students, you have access to Web Advisor. Just as a reminder, the website is right here, wa.tccd.edu. Or if you just Google Web Advisor, it should be the first search term that populates if you're using Google Chrome. Again, that's kind of the preferred search engine. That's where most of our updates are pushed through. Safari and Firefox seem to work okay. Internet Explorer, not so much. So just bear that in mind as you're trying to navigate through the system. Then it's going to take you to a menu that looks like this. So you'll click on your student menu in this particular case. And then where I'm going to actually have you go is under the Register for Classes menu. See the very first option right here? It says Self-Service Student Planning. Again, that is Self-Service Student Planning. You may hear us sometimes refer to that as Ellucian. It's the same thing. All right? So click on that. It's going to open up a new tab. Make sure that your pop-up blocker has been disabled. Okay. And then as your data populates, you're going to have two options to view. What I'm going to make mine a little bit larger. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, there we go. So a little bit larger. So on the left side, you'll see an option that says View Your Progress. And on the right side, you're going to see an option that says Plan Your Degree and Register for Classes. So the number one question I have been receiving is, Miss, I don't know how many classes I still need to graduate. Or, Miss, I want to apply to one of the allied healthcare programs. How do I know what classes I need for that actual program? That's going to be under View, Go to My Progress, because you can view multiple programs without actually changing the one that you're on. When you're ready to actually sign up and register for classes, that's what's going to be on the right side. So in my case, since I'm not currently enrolled, I have to go in a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my personal account, and I'm going to show you where you go. So I'm going to go to View My Progress. And in my case, since I am not attached to a specific program, I need to put one on for sample purposes. 9 times out of 10, If you are planning to transfer to an area university, then you're probably attached to the Associates of Arts program. This also applies for our allied healthcare students that are going to be applying to selective admissions programs. So nurses, physical therapy assistants, the sonography program, dental hygiene, nuclear medicine, nursing anesthesiology, radiology, respiratory care, CT scanning, MRI, all of you guys, you're going to start out on Associates of Arts. Associates of Science is going to apply to most of our people that are going to be STEM majors. So that's science, technology, engineering, mathematics, computer science, things of that nature. So when you're planning to transfer, that's going to ensure that we capture those more advanced math and sciences that you're going to need at the university level. And then you can also see some of the other specialized 2-year degrees that we have in our technical programs. The certificate programs are also included here as well. So you may start off with a certificate. You may actually pursue a degree and a certificate at the same time. It depends on what your professional goals are. So in my case, again, I had to select one because I'm not actively a student, but in your case, whatever you signed up for when you filled out the TCC application, that's what's going to populate right here. Okay, and if you need to view another program, this is where you do that. So you can view up to 3 or 4 programs at one time. It doesn't change what you're in. What it's going to do is it's going to take the courses that you have either planned, you're currently taking, or the ones that you have already completed, and it's going to layer them into the program for you. So you don't have to shuffle around all these different sheets of paper and stuff. It does it for you. And then that way you'll know, like, especially if you're teetering between 2 different programs, then you'll know, oh, well, 6 of my classes I've already taken count toward this program, but 4 count toward this other program. And I think that will help you make a more informed decision about what you'd like to do, again, especially if you're teetering between 2 different things. So this is what you need to know here. So it's all color coded. So anything that is this dark, lovely emerald green color, that represents your college level courses that you have enrolled in, and those are the courses that you have actually completed. And you've earned an A, B, or C in those courses. So again, college level courses. Anything that's going to be a light green color, that represents courses that are in progress. So those are classes that you're currently enrolled in at the moment and they haven't ended. So it could be classes that started in January, classes that started in March. They're going to end in May. Once you receive the grade for that course, then it will turn dark green, and then the total credits that you have earned, you see right here, that number will change. Anything that you have planned, so remember, you can plan your courses several semesters in advance. That's going to be in yellow, and anything that's in red, what does red mean in everyday life? Red means stop, pay attention to me. So if it's in red, you need to take that particular course that needs attention. And the goal is to turn everything green in your specific degree plan. And once you turn everything green, this lovely little progress bar right here will make its way all the way over here to the right and hit your magic number. So in my case, my magic number is 60, and that's the case for the bulk of our associate's degree programs. There are a few exceptions. And then also what you'll want to bear in mind is if you are planning to transfer to an area university, there could be additional courses that they are requiring that we offer, but we're not requiring for you to complete. So you could potentially go over the 60 hours if there's additional things that they're asking for. I've seen that with my education majors in particular with one of the area schools where they'll complete the entire teaching degree with us, but then there's 3 or 4 additional classes they need to take that the area universities will accept from us. So they'll actually have more than 60 hours. All right? And then, Miss, how do I know what I need to take? Yeah, Miss, help me. Okay, so what you do is you follow everything, and it's color coded for you. So If these courses had not been taken, they would be in red, and it would say 0 of 1 courses completed. So if this area only required 1 course, that's what it would say. If it required 2 courses or more, it will indicate that for you as well. So in my case, mine is green because I completed this actual course, and there's the grade that I earned in it. That's when I took it all the way back when I was a dual credit student in summer of 2002. Well, that's a 3 there. And then the 3 credit hours. So this was a college level course that I took. I earned 3 credits for it after earning that A. And that's the only actual course option that's there. So all roads lead to Composition 1. That means I cannot take anything else in that place. That is the course I need for TCC, period. Once you get down here, see, same thing. This would have said 0 of 1 courses completed, but now I have a choice. I have English Composition 2 and Technical and Business Writing. So depending on what I'm planning to study and what's my next move after TCC, in other words, what am I going to be when I grow up, or what does my next chapter look like if I'm a returning student that's coming back to school? I know several of you have already been out in the workforce. You have the work experience. You just need the sheet of paper that says you know how to do the job you've been doing for the past umpteenth years. Then that's what's going to dictate which one of these 2 courses you take. And in certain instances, you might need both. But again, that's going to depend on what you're studying and which area university you are planning to go to. Okay, so in my case, I took English Composition 2. I earned a B in that course. Same thing, I took this as a dual credit student in high school when I finished up my junior year. And yep, they kept all the credits. It's still there, even though it's from 18 years ago. And that way, that automatically fulfilled the requirement for technical and business writing because I only needed 1 course for my specific plan. So this is an example of what you'd be looking at down here if you have multiple options and there's something that has not been completed yet. So this says 0 of 1 course is completed. This is what I was referring to. So it's red. What does red mean? Stop. Pay attention. I need you to do this, right? So that's what's there. And then what it does is it gives you a choice between the different types of speech classes. So it depends on the area university that you're going to if you're transferring, because some of them are very specific about which speech class they want, and other ones will just kind of say, take a speech class. We really don't care which one, just as long as you take a speech, take the one that is interesting to you. For the math, so this is where things kind of get a little bit different. If we were having this conversation 2 or 3 years ago, my responses would look a little bit different. But now, with us trying to be more efficient and get you guys graduated sooner, the math that you take is going to depend on what you're studying and what your next move is going to be. So typically, a lot of my healthcare folks will probably take statistics and or contemporary mathematics. Depends on where you're going and what you're studying. The business majors, my teachers, my engineers, my computer scientists are going to go up into that more advanced track. So what that could look like, for example, is for my future super teachers, you're going to track up to college algebra. College algebra is going to unlock the door for you to then take Math for Teachers 1 and 2. For my business students, you're going to move up or test into either college algebra or Math for Business and Social Sciences. It depends on your business program. From there, that program might request calculus for business and social sciences. And then you go into like your advanced accounting, finance level courses at your senior institution, your university. So, and then what I'll see with like my engineers and my computer scientists is they might either move up to or test into college algebra. Then they will most likely go into either trigonometry or pre-calculus, and then they will go up into calculus 1. And for a lot of those plans, plan to go to calculus 1, 2, and 3. the math classes are going to unlock your more advanced science classes. So engineers, computer scientists, we got to get you through pre-cal and calculus for you to take your more advanced physics courses. So there is a method to the madness, and when we recommend that you take things in a certain order, it's for that reason. We know that you'll get locked out of certain things. With the healthcare folks in particular, so my nurses, for example, if you come in, you take the college test, the TSI, the Texas Success Initiative, and you do not score at the college level, then what's going to happen is they will require you to take a math class, because I know people ask me all the time, well, Ms. Cherie, the nursing program doesn't require a math class at our school. You're correct. But you have to be TSI Met or college level in math, reading, and writing to start your sciences. You can't get into it without it. So until we get you up to that baseline, you're going to have to build your skills up to that point. So that can be done one of three ways. You retake the TSI assessment and you score a 350 or higher. You track all the way up from, let's see, Math 0090, Math 0361, and then you can either take contemporary math or statistics. That'll open the door for anatomy and physiology and microbiology, or in some rare instances, you might have to go Math 0090, which is the first developmental math, Math 0361, and then go up into Math 0362, and then that course will unlock some of those courses as well. That kind of ties into my students that need the upper level chemistry courses. Okay, so again, it's going to depend on where you're going and what you want to study. So you don't have as much time as you would have had 2 or 3 years ago to figure it out as you go, build the plane as you fly it. The earlier you can narrow down at least what career cluster you'd like to go into, and if you have a short list of universities you might like to attend, even if you're not going to go right away, that helps us so you don't have to double back and take additional courses later. Does that make sense? So when we help you plan your courses, we're going over the information we're going by the information that you give us at that moment. So remember, you change your major, you change where you want to go, that means the plan could potentially change too. That's my disclaimer, okay? So there's your math, there's your sciences, and I'll click on one to show you an example of what I'm talking about with some of the notes. So this one right here, this is anatomy and physiology. So that's some of the information that's right there. That doesn't show what I wanted to see. I changed up my notes. Hang on, let me go back. See, these are some of the upper level sciences right here. Let me see if I can find like microbiology or something. Okay, yeah, they changed the notes around a little bit, but that's what it used to say. That's what these notes right here actually mean. TSI Met in reading and writing, TSI Met in non-algebraic math pathway, and all that good stuff. So come see one of us. We'll break it down for you, okay? Because, yeah, the notes have been updated since the last time I looked at this before spring break. So you'll do that. Depending on where you're going, you'll need to look and see if you need creative art. Typically, you might need 2 histories. You might need 2 governments. So there's my U.S. government I took, and then Texas government. You might need a social and behavioral science, such as psychology, sociology. Business students, you'll need economics, macro and micro. A kinesiology class, which is PE. And then I skipped one. Oh, here. This is the one I missed. And then here, your language, culture, and philosophy category. So this is going to depend on where you're going, because for our purposes, we only need one course. But in my case, where I went to UT Austin, I actually had to have 2 literature courses. I had to have the 2 upper level languages. So I took Intermediate Spanish 1 and 2. Actually started with Intermediate Spanish 1. And that was quite a big jump from the high school version of it, because they don't review. And then I also had to have a philosophy course. So did you just catch what I said right there? TCC only required 1 course. My senior institution, the University of Texas at Austin, in that same category, required 5, which meant I had to plan for 4 additional courses to graduate from the university. So that can happen. So that's something that we have to look at. So whether you're going to transfer right away or you're going to transfer at a later date. All right. So that's how you know what you need, because in each category, it's going to tell you if it's 1 class or if it's more. And then down when you get to the very bottom, your electives, that you have 18 credit hours down here. So what this represents, this is an area for 5 to 6 courses that you can take that we offer, but we may not necessarily require for your degree plan, or it could be ones that you can knock out for a selective admissions program that you're trying to get into. We also typically use this category to fulfill requirements for your university level requirements. So so TCC may only require 1 class, but your university could require 2. They could require 2 science, like we could require 2 sciences, but they could require 4. Or you saw in my case where we only required 1 language, philosophy, and culture, but I had to have 5. So that's where I would have space to put in those extra 4 classes. Down here, they would fit on my degree plan, which means my financial aid would pick up those particular courses if I'm on the Associates of Arts program. So remember, whatever you take needs to be on the plan that you're attached to if you're going to receive federal financial aid to pay for it. If you're paying for yourself, you can take whatever you want. But if you're using somebody else's money, you got to stick to the plan, because what will happen is they'll either remove the classes from the course, from your plan, like they'll get deleted or dropped, or what they're going to say is, yeah, you can take that, but you got to pay for it. We're only going to pay for these. So you want to always check and make sure that your program is up to date. So just to recap right here, this right here, this dark green represents the number of credit hours that you have completed. So for summer registration, it doesn't matter. There's no priority registration. So summer registration is going to, as of right now, is planning to open on March 30th, given the current situation. That could change. We're supposed to receive an update in a couple of days. As of right now, plan for MayMester, and then your summer classes, which would be summer 1 June, summer 2 July. Plan for that registration to open on Monday, March 30th. And then if we get an update, I'll let you guys know. For the fall registration, yes, now seniority does rule. So for fall registration, that's your classes that start in August and run through December. What is going to happen there is they go by priority registration. What that means is those of you that have a higher number of college level credit courses completed, you're at the front of the line, you're VIP. So that means you're going to register the week of April 22nd, and you'll receive a notification telling you what day you're eligible to register for. It'll either show up in WebAdvisor or it's going to go to your MyTCC email account. And then when you swing over to the week of April 27th, that's going to be open registration. So that could be those of you that are taking developmental or refresher pre-college level courses. So you've taken classes, but your grades haven't posted yet, or you haven't taken anything that's college level just yet. So I've seen that happen, or where people say, well, Miss, I'm taking English Composition 1 and I'm taking history and all that stuff, but your grade doesn't show up until May because that grade has not been finalized. You don't have any credits yet. It's once it's actually been locked in, it's hit your transcript, boom, you're done. So that's what the number that they're looking at. And you'll appreciate that once you're getting ready to graduate, because then you're gonna be at the front of the line. So it's people that have like 50 plus credits are gonna go right on the 22nd, because the goal is to make sure that you get into the classes that you need, and we get you across the stage with your degree, certificate, or both in hand. And then from there, it's gonna stair step down. So check for that notification. And then anytime anybody asks you, so whether you're getting tuition reimbursement for work, you're applying for a scholarship, don't forget to apply for scholarships. They're open. This is your number right here. This is how you'll always know where you stand. And how many you need for your program is always going to be over here. The last thing I want to show you on this page is for those of y'all that are doing a program that might be selective admission. So nursing is probably the most popular program we have at our institution. How do I know what I need for nursing? So notice I did not change my degree program, I just layered it on top of the one I chose. So see that same English class I took? That counts. That means I don't have to take it again. They pulled it over and they're going to use it. There's my 3 sciences that I have to have: anatomy and physiology 1, 2, and microbiology. Make sure you get an A or a B in either in those classes, and you only have 2 attempts. 2 attempts meaning, we got to get you a passing grade, ideally an A or a B, because if you go in there and you try to retake it, D's count against it, F's count against it, and if you drop it, that counts as an attempt as well. They're only going to look at your first 2 attempts for each course. So whatever your highest grade is, that's what they're using to calculate into the factors they look at for you to get admitted. So they're looking at your science grades, they're looking at your overall GPA, your grades on the HESI exam, among other factors, once you start applying for those selective admission healthcare programs. So healthcare people, you want to get really familiar with our page, research your program, and you need to read very carefully what the requirements are, because some of the programs only accept applications once a year. That's the difference between you getting into your program this year and you having to wait a whole nother year just because you overlooked something. So we really have to stay in very close contact to make sure that all your application requirements are done and they're done on time. Okay, because you have a very tight window to get them done. Okay? And the goal is for us to get you in on the first try. See, so there's that language, philosophy, and culture. And what they did is with the creative arts, they combined it. So that way, instead of 2 separate categories, they made this one. You have 2 psychology classes that you have to complete. Because it says 0 2 courses complete. That means since you see 2 options, you have to take both. And it is those specific classes. And then down here where it says required, so these are the courses that you would take once you get accepted into the program. So at my level, I cannot register you for those courses. Those particular classes have to be approved once you get accepted into your program. So if you're getting into nursing, you have to wait for the downtown campus to actually approve you to get in there. Once they do that, you're good to go. And then this represents your clinicals down here, your hands-on experience, and then you're good to go. And then that way, that will get you out of here. So you got 6 classes there, plus another 7, that's 13, 14, 15, creative arts, makes 16, 19, 20. So you have 20 classes, which still keeps you at the magic number of 60. So perfect world scenario, about how many classes do you normally take to earn an associate's degree? It's approximately 20, because if you take 20 times 3, you'll get 60. But remember, your science is 4 credits, not 3, because of the lab component. So if you test into our development or our refresher classes, then you're going to have additional courses you need to take, but they don't move the needle here. It's only your college level work. and your pre-college level work will show up on this side. So anything that you attempt will be here. And they keep full records of everything that you've done. Even if you did college for kids, dual credit, anything like that, it's all going to be here. And you can plan courses out, as of right now, all the way up through spring 2022. And that is the gist of how to read what you need. When it's time to register for your classes, all you need to do is you just need to click on the name of the course, or you can search for it in the search bar up here. So remember, we're going to give you a list of recommended courses. Each of them have a 4-letter code with a 4-digit number behind it. Add course to plan. This is going to let you project your courses out through spring 2022. View available sections. Sections means classes. That's what's available right now. So as you get ready to register for MayMester, Summer, and then in April, Fall, that's going to be how you sign up for the current session. And that's where you select your actual classes. And then you can view the details about those specific classes. So in this case, you can see the section number here. This is how you know it's specific. You can see the details, the number of seats available, course description, where it meets, the times, the name of the professor, all that good stuff. And if there's any special instructions that go with it. So in this particular case, this says prerequisite section must also enroll in INRW 0114, and it has a very specific class. That means you cannot shop around for it. When you register, you have to select that class, and you have to go and type this one into the search bar in the top right-hand corner and look for that exact course. And that's how you'll get it to go through. So that's what you will select. So let's say you wanted to add that class. So you just click that. And then you look for the other one, the companion course that goes with it. So English 1301 represents your college level class. INRW represents the pre-college level, the refresher class. So we're letting you into the college level course on the condition that you complete the requirements. So I think it was this one right here. So you add them both, package deal. And then you can see them right there for the summer. Is that the right one? 10, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 10, 1, 2, 3. So those match. And then when it's time to register, you click on the course plan tab. And make sure you're in the current session. So that's summer 2020. Click the checkbox. And once registration actually opens, it's a little bit too early. As you can see it right here, your registration period for summer 2020 begins on March 30th at midnight. This button right here will actually say register. It'll be blue. As long as you don't have any holds, you click on that, and then it will register you for classes. All this stuff will turn green. Remember, green means go. If you have multiple classes, you can also click on calendar, and then that way you can view how those classes are going to look. So for the summer, remember, we meet 4 days a week, whether it's in person or online. Plan for the classes to be online given the current situation. And just make sure when you click your stuff that it doesn't say yellow, it does turn green. That's how you're going to know it went through. You should also receive an email saying that there's been registration activity on your account. Once you register, then if you go over to Web Advisor, so I went back to my Web Advisor tab, I never closed it. Under Business Services, under Schedule and Fee Statement, once I click on that, it gives me the option to click on Term. If my registration was successful, I'll have the option to select Summer 2020 or Fall 2020. If the option isn't even there, then that means something's wrong. It didn't go through, or your classes did not hold. That means financial aid or your payment did not go through. So we need to investigate further what's going on. And then that way you can actually print out how much, what's my bill going to be. And then that way, if you need to submit it for tuition reimbursement, different things like that, then you can print that out, or you can screenshot it, convert it to a PDF, send it where it needs to go. You have that if you're a sponsored student and you need it for a bid letter as well. And then you're all set. All right, y'all, so that's the gist of how to register for classes in the new system, Ellucian, also known as self-service student planning. So if y'all need anything, make sure you contact Advising and Counseling online, and we are here and ready to assist you. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.